Talking sports in March, the Auburn Athletic Department is enjoying a very successful spring as the Auburn softball team is doing pretty well. The Auburn baseball team ranked in the top 15. Auburn's women's basketball season ended on a very low note, losing to BYU today, but finished with a 22-win season. Very successful for the Auburn women's basketball team. And also the Auburn's men's basketball team will compete against Kansas. Auburn in that game as the number 5th seed and Kansas the number 4 seed. Should be an exciting matchup and a great game for the Auburn Tigers. Now, as we move on to spring football, the 4th day of spring, the Auburn football team will practice Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And there's a little buzz coming out of spring football as Joey Gatewood apparently is having a pretty good string of success competing for the starting position of quarterback for the Auburn Tigers. Gus Malzahn was very complimentary, basically saying that Joey Gatewood has shown a lot of maturity. He's definitely not a freshman anymore, which means that he's probably showing a lot more leadership, probably taking a little bit more command of the locker room, and is ready to compete on a high level for this position. Now, he has a couple of other guys who are going to be fighting just as hard in Bo Nix, Cord Sandberg, and Malik Willis, who was actually the backup to Jarrett Stidham while Jarrett Stidham was on the Plains during his successful run as an Auburn Tiger. Now, as we look forward to this potential quarterback battle, I mean, it would be very irresponsible for us to think after 4 days that the quarterback position has been decided, because we have to look at a lot of things. You know, you want to look at ball protection. You want to look at who is going to take command of the football team, who's going to accentuate all the variables, all of the abilities of the players around him, and who's going to inspire the football team to play at another level. Now, I go back to ball protection. I look at Nick Marshall in the game against Missouri. Nick Marshall had a lot of costly turnovers early in that game that kind of kept Missouri in that SEC championship game, but they were able to come out with a win. That's definitely not something going into the high consequence game against Oregon that Auburn needs to really contend with, is the turnover factor, because the last thing in a game like that where you're starting a new quarterback for the first time, the last thing that quarterback needs to deal with is the adversities of lack of ball protection. So discipline is going to be very key, and I know that's something that Kenny Dillingham and Gus Malzahn are going to work very hard over the spring training to make sure that the guy who is the starting quarterback for the Auburn Tigers, not only does he know the offense, not only is he a leader on the football field, but he's a guy that protects the football, because that's going to be vitally important. We're going to also talk about in some videos later on about ball protection among the running backs. It was a little bit of a concern last year because Boobie Whitlow, especially when he crosses the goal line, was very errant with the football. We're going to talk about that in some videos later on. But for now, the quarterback battle is well in hand. Joey Gatewood is definitely making a mark, making a very good impression on Gus Malzahn, for Gus Malzahn to come out publicly and talk very complimentary about Joey Gatewood's progress. So we will look to see how this goes. We will look to see the progression of Bo Nix, Malik Willis, and Cord Sandberg, to see maybe this might not be the year for Bo Nix. Maybe this would be a red shirt year for him to learn the offense thoroughly and be the quarterback of the future for the Auburn Tigers, because based on his high school film, he definitely will be a sought-after name here for the Auburn Tigers. Once again, it's K-Stu the GOAT for Vernon Speak Sports, mostly talking about Auburn football and the rest of the SEC. Want to give a shout-out to my fearless and true gang, War Eagle. Oh, by the way, subscribe to the channel.